Howdy everybody. Oh my goodness, so sorry, it's been a long time since I've done one of these. It's actually December 2nd. November was just a crazy month for us, so I want to give y'all a quick update and then we'll get into the video. So November was busy for us, so sorry that we've been quiet. One of the things that happened is I have an old shoulder injury that kind of got re-injured, so I haven't been doing much with Sally. He's just kind of been a little pasture horse, enjoying himself. Let's see, what else happened? Of course, November, so Thanksgiving, had the family here, so I did major cleaning of the house, and had people here probably close to 2 weeks, I guess, in total. We also, let's see, what else happened? We had problem with our septic tank, so we had to deal with that. Thank goodness that all got solved without too much of a fuss. But that was not a fun chore to deal with. And then finally, something that we are actually still dealing with is a skunk under our house. Yep, we've had a skunk living under a house probably 3 weeks. I don't think it officially decided to stay with us the first week. It just kind of came and went. And we kept finding holes around our house. But after that, it has definitely decided that it was staying, and we've spotted it a couple times. Silly always shows off for you guys. Yeah, he does. So, anyway, with this skunk, you can see, like over here, we've had some holes creep up and we filled in. We honestly thought it was an armadillo at first, because I've seen one come really close to the house, and it kind of lives behind that little shed out there. And so I thought it just decided to move its way up here. So it was quite a surprise when we did kind of like a stakeout one night to see what exactly was under the house. And it was a skunk. And my husband came running back inside because he didn't want to have to deal with getting skunked. So we've done the whole like mothballs in water thing, mothballs under the house. We've set this darn trap every which place around the house. Sorry, that's our bedroom. Our doggies are in there barking. We know his little trail. He walks up and goes past this dead tree over here. We set the trap there, and a bunch of different places have caught a raccoon and a cat. But this little skunk that's under there, we have not caught. And you see what's actually happened? I don't know how. This little can was full of cat food, and it was back here. And the trap was set. And somehow the thing set the trap and ate the food. How it did that, I'm not sure. I honestly can't remember when I came out here the first time if this was open or closed, so I don't know if he just kind of weaseled his way in that way. I honestly don't remember if that was open or closed, but I know that I've messed with it, so I know that I opened that. So I'm going to set it again tonight. I've got more cat food and I'm going to wire that shut just in case that's it. But I was quite surprised to find that the trap was set or had gone off and the cat food was gone. So this has been like a couple week endeavor of trying to catch this thing and learn when it comes out at night and all this stuff. And I've been trying to think of how to incorporate our little skunk adventure into a video. And actually, while my dad was here, he came up with a really good idea. So the credit goes to my dad. But having this skunk live under our house is actually a pretty good metaphor for sin in our life. So sin, it kind of sneaks into our lives. Just because you're Christian doesn't mean that you're without sin. It just means now you have God living in your heart, and He comes into your life and basically comes to clean up house. And He points out sin and how to get rid of it, because it's toxic. It's not good for you. It's not good for you to have sin in your life. And where sin is, that's just one area of your heart or your life that God's not in control and He doesn't have full access to. So getting rid of sin is giving one more area up and over to God and trusting Him with everything. Hey, buddy. And it's funny because in having this skunk come to our house, when we first found out it was a skunk, I was like, oh my gosh, no way, get it out of my house. It needs to go. Totally freaked out, hated it, don't like it, need to go. Well, it's almost like we've become comfortable with having it at the house now, just because it's taken so long to try and catch it, that we've completely modified our whole lives around this little skunk. So as soon as it becomes dark, I don't go out front. As you heard our dogs barking, when I go take him outside, I have to make sure they stay in the back because I don't want to have to be bathing skunk off of my dogs, and I've got 3 of them. It affects, when I go in and out of my house and where I go in and out, because I don't want to run into it. And I can smell it when it comes out, when it leaves, especially since it's under our bedroom. I can smell it in the morning, especially when I first walk out and I come back in. You can smell it. You can smell it in the kitchen. And at times I can smell it if I open my closet for the day and air it out. And it's just really, really, really gross, and it really bothered me, the first couple days. But sadly, it's just because it's still been here, it's almost become normal to just adapt to this little guy that's living there. And isn't that kind of how we get with our sin? Maybe if it's something, the first time we might be, a little shocked of, oh, I shouldn't do that, or, how bad that is. But, the more we indulge in it, the more it hangs around, or the more influences that we have to continue in that sin, the more comfortable we are with it. And the more it stays, and the more we adapt, and the more we just don't even notice how much it's invaded or changed our lives. And it's also, similar to the skunk, where the skunk, it's nocturnal, it comes out at night. It's incredibly smart because it's been very hard to catch. So it's cunning, and it doesn't want to lose its home. It's comfortable there. And so the longer it stays, the harder it is to get rid of. And that's the same as our sin. In the Bible, it says in John 14:6 that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. And if Jesus is the light, then sin is darkness. And that metaphor's both used in the Old and New Testament. And so sin likes to hide in the dark. It says in John 3:20, "For everyone who does evil hates the light, and does not come to the light for fear that his deeds will be exposed." And I couldn't believe how perfect the skunk is a picture for our sin. That, it's active at night, and it tries to not be seen. And really, it's quite cunning, and does its best to keep its firm little stake under a house. It doesn't want to leave. But even though it's a little critter and it's not technically in the house, it definitely affects the stuff in the house because you can smell it. It's going to attract other skunks and other critters to our house. Our house doesn't feel as clean or as healthy as it should. And that's what sin does. It's not good. It's a toxin to our hearts. And so when we become a Christian and accept Christ into our life, He comes in and He cleans the house of our heart. He cleans it out of this nasty sin that sometimes, we've just lived with so long that we don't even notice. Like, it's just become normal. But the truth is that we got to get rid of it. It's not good for our health. And in order to have a clean house and a clean heart, we need to get rid of the sin skunk in our lives. So I just thought that was a really good metaphor, especially since it was, just another adventure of living out in the country here with us. I hope that encourages you, and I hope that maybe gives you a good picture of why it's important to get rid of the sin in our life, why it's important to treat it seriously and not get comfortable with the skunk living under the house. It's not a good thing, and it's not, sometimes, and more often than not, it's not easy to get rid of. It's natural for us to want to hang on to our sin, and we just need to let it be exposed to the light of our Lord and let Him clean it and remove it and make us new. So I pray that helps. Hopefully I won't be quite as long in making my next video and I can get back on track. It's December 2nd, so I've got my Christmas boxes pulled out and the tree's going up tonight. And so hopefully things will start slowing down for us here. And please pray that we catch this skunk. I'm really tired of it living under my house, so I would appreciate the prayer. And I will be yakking at y'all some other time. Say bye, Sully. Bye, Sully.